Hi, Mr. Bill 1911 here, and as always, if you have any history of any cardiac, respiratory, or orthopedic issues, or are over age 30, please consult a doctor before starting an exercise routine. Today's topic is age and injury accommodation for training, part 2. A lot of my information is going to be more general here, and I will start off with, for example, avoiding any obviously irritating movements, whether you had a surgical or non-surgical situation, which I've had both of over many years of training. Flat barbell press, deadlifts, free weight squats, they can be great movements, and if you have no issue with them and they aren't causing a problem, as I say, fine, go ahead. But I will give an example. One of the best bodybuilders who ever existed, Dorian Yates, once had a hip injury during some time in his career, and after that he said he found that free weight squats did not work for him, but that he could do them on Smith machine, he could do hack squats, he could do leg press, and those worked for him. Also, he found that flat bench barbell press caused a lot of irritation in the shoulder, but doing them on a slight incline or decline seemed to eliminate the issue for him. And going back to deadlifts for a moment, you would normally think if somebody's had lower back, hip or knee problems, they might not be a good thing to do. But you also have to keep in mind, if you have any shoulder problems, once you get up to any fairly challenging weights, deadlifts can put a pretty strong pull on your AC joint. So if you've had any shoulder issues in general, that might not be a good movement. Some examples I've given from my own history. I used to combine and alternate doing incline barbell press with flat flies, and then flat press with incline flies. But then I eventually went to doing all incline movements, because after several shoulder injuries, I found that put the cuff tendons in a more retracted position, and that seemed to decrease or eliminate the irritation. However, when I did have a more recent rotator cuff injury, I did have to take some time to gradually progress to where I could work both sides together. But when I did, I elected to just do them with dumbbells, because if I started to wobble or lag on that side, all I had to do was drop the dumbbell on the floor. Another option would be to do something like Smith machine presses, and just be careful with how challenging you get with weight. And then with that, once you're getting close to failure, you just rotate the bar, put it on the hooks, and you're good. Now, another general accommodation you might want to make for age is higher reps, which would directly dictate lighter weights, and or you may also want to go to your rep max a little less often. Example I might give, say if you're doing a weight for 10 to 12 reps, your first set you do 10 or 11. You might have 1 or 2 reps left in the tank. Second set, you might be within a rep or so of failure, and by the third set, you're pretty much at failure, with acceptable form. Or else you could even just go to your rep max every second, third, fourth workout, whatever works for you. Now, if you're a power lifter, you might want to go to longer training cycles, because as you age, your recovery curve is going to be slower, and you don't want to get ahead of what you can recover. And now the last two issues have to do with body mass, body weight. I would say very rarely, but it does occur sometimes when you see some older people training. They might be significantly underweight. In that case, actually developing muscle mass can have a protective effect, because it improves balance and posture. And if there are some minor traumas or some kind of fall that's not hopefully too serious, they can have a protective effect. They literally will protect the bones. But more often you would see what you would notice with some of the athletes in the straight sports, such as bodybuilding, powerlifting, or Olympic lifting, or in the power positions in a sport like football, offensive, defensive line, linebackers, even running backs. In most of those sports, it's probably wiser for the people in the very high body mass categories to try to reduce the body mass for general cardiac and pulmonary health reasons. And I can give examples of two former Pittsburgh Steelers. Chris Hoke, when he retired after a neck injury in 2011, he was playing at around 300 pounds. When I recently saw him in public, he looked very active, moving well. I congratulated him on looking healthy and doing well after his career. But I would say he probably was a good 80 pounds below what he played at, but of course he didn't need to run into big guys anymore. Likewise, Alan Faneca, after he retired from playing, he dropped about 100 pounds and was running marathons. Now, you don't need to take it to that extent. Again, he did not need that body mass for protection against running into other large guys. And that's your fit tip for today.